A Maine mom demands investigation after a school counselor secretly gives daughter a chest binder. All right, so for those who don't know what a chest binder is, lesbians use chest binders to push their boobs down and make them look flat-chested so they look more masculine. It's something that they do a lot of times before they have the mastectomy, and they live like this, and some doctors require that you have lived like this for a while before they move on to that next phase of doing a mastectomy, right? So let's see what's going on here. Okay. It was early December when Amber found out that her 13-year-old daughter was using a chest binder. The undergarment used to flatten a female's breast to make her appear more male, look like a tank top with a built-in bra. And it smelled bad. In her efforts to hide it from the family, her daughter hadn't put the binder in the laundry for weeks. When I can't pronounce this lady's name, when Levine picked up her daughter from a school dance, she asked if she was wearing a chest binder. She wasn't, the girl said, but admitted she had one. And where had she gotten it from? A friend, she claimed, but Levine was skeptical. I want you to think long and hard if there's anything else that you want to share with me about this, she told her daughter, because I'm going to reach out to your friend's mom. Later that night, Levine's daughter did have more to share. She hadn't received the chest binder from a friend. After all, it had came from school. Levine later would learn that earlier in the year, without her knowledge, her daughter had been reassigned to a new social worker at Great Salt Bay Community School in Maine. This social worker, she learned, had been advising her daughter about gender transitioning. He had provided her daughter with the chest binder, telling the girl that he wouldn't tell her mother and that she didn't need to either. She also learned that school personnel had been involved in socially transitioning her daughter, referring to her by a new name and by male pronouns, but no one bothered to notify Levine. Okay, this is the question I got. Because there is some holes in here somewhere. First of all, how did you not notice that your daughter was dressing like a tomboy, or that was giving off masculine energy or features or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, if your daughter is going to school convincing the people at school that she want to be a boy, she wasn't doing none of this at home, like, or him, I don't know, whatever the transitional pronoun is supposed to be. Was this child actually a child that wanted to transition, or was this a counselor putting his views upon a child? First of all, don't give my kid anything and tell my kid they don't have to tell me shit. That is going to be the first problem that I have. Before we go anywhere else, the moment an adult tells my kid, and I tell my kids this, we have no secrets. We have secrets from people. We have no secrets. If an adult tells you that, oh, you don't have to tell your mom or dad about this, that needs to be the first red flag in your head that something is effed up. Don't ever tell my kid that they not supposed to tell me something. We talk about everything. If your balls itch, tell me, son. Let me know. Don't let no other adult come between us. This our relationship. This ain't nobody else's relationship. And I'm big on that one right there. The school is absolutely positively wrong for this. So wrong for this. So wrong for this. Pathfinder said, take a breath, sunshine. I can't. When it comes to the kids, when it comes to adults overstepping their boundaries, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the school, your job has nothing to do with my child's body. When my kid come to school, my kid's body has nothing to do with you. The only thing that you need to be worried about is what is going in their brain. Do not worry. Why are you concerned about my daughter's titties? That's a problem for me as a male counselor, teacher, whatever. Why are you even discussing my daughter's titties with her? I got an issue. I got a problem with this. I do. This is not cool. And why? Let's see what the school district said. Levine demanded answers, but for the most part, she said the school district leaders and school board members have been defensive and evasive. She is now represented by lawyers from the Arizona-based Goldwater Institute who argue that the school's actions are unconstitutional and violate Levine's rights as a parent to the direct education, upbringing, and health of child. Like, this kid is only going to be with y'all as long as I have them enrolled in this school. How dare you step over my rights as a parent and tell me it's not my right to know what's going on with my kid? What? Like, you get this kid for a couple of hours a day. I see them all the time. You should have let me know first. Pathfinder said, I think schools should do a background check every year on teachers. Yeah, because I don't know what you did last year. You might have passed this background check when you started, but you've been diddling little kids since then. And I need somebody to know. Like, nah, I'm good with you. Let's see. Last week, the Goldwater Institute sent a demand letter to the chairman of Great Salt Bay School Board calling for an investigation into the counselor's actions and calling for the school board to update its policies to make it clear that parents must be informed of any decisions affecting the mental health and physical well-being of their children. Parents aren't going to be able to effectively ensure the safety of their kids if they're missing out on critical information involving their kids. Now this says some transgender activists, on the other hand, say parents aren't entitled to know if their child wants to change their name and pronouns at school, arguing that knowledge must be earned by parents. Earned? What? If my elementary school child is having an identity issue, I don't need to earn that right to know. I need to know. Now, if my college age student is deciding to transition or do some shit, that ain't my business. They an adult. But anything between pre-K and 12th grade, you damn right I want to know. Like, what? Let's see. We got some comments. Let's see. T Slick said, I'm not with none of that shit. We was just talking about this yesterday. These teachers and shit at these schools are effed up nowadays, and it's weird. Miss Miranda said, I would have showed up and raised hell. You, Fox 5, Hot Atlanta, CNBC, any other podcast I could have got on, it wouldn't have mattered. All of y'all would have heard my mouth. I would have been sending my kid to school with I can't imagine. And we're not even talking about a teacher, like somebody who see your kid every single day. We talking about a counselor. How often do the counselors even get to see the kids? You counsel the whole goddamn school. Don't just pick my child to counsel. Pick the whole school. Because this is crazy. T Slick said they be so quick to do that. We had to deal with this. Like, you had an issue, click the button, click the live. I'd like you to explain to me what you're talking about if you went through this. Teacher Anitra said that is clearly overstepping his boundaries. Mr. Wildseed says school systems are built to separate families. Why do you say that? I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just asking, where does that come from? Why do you feel like that? T Slick says, I am already knowing I show up and show out. The fact that they said not to tell is beyond wrong. That's what Miranda said, and I absolutely agree. Listen, teach your children that any adult that wants to have a secret with a child is a problem. The same way you teach your kids, they know no spots and don't touch me here. And this is something too. You can't just teach your kids not to let adults touch them. You need to teach your kids not to let other children touch them as well. This is a no-no spot for everyone. Okay. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. In my house, we don't say TT or wee. We say vagina and penis. And the reason why is because I really wanted my kids to understand that if something happened to them, that they need to use the regular words. Okay, I had a big debate with a mom about this. She was like, she don't use those words. Instead, she uses stuff like pocketbook. And I said, so what happens if somebody is touching your child inappropriately at school and the teacher and your child goes up to the teacher and she says, hey, little Jimmy is touching my pocketbook, or little Jimmy is touching keeps touching my cookie. The teacher is not going to pay attention. But if your kid went up to the teacher and said, Johnny keeps touching my vagina, well, guess what? Now we're going to pay attention. Don't put your child in a situation where they're not going to be listened to and they're not going to be heard because you find these words to be offensive. Elbow, nose, breast, vagina. There's no reason why you can't be able to use these words as an adult and teach your kid to use these words. You don't want your son to grow up and think that a woman's body is a sexual object. Stop treating your son as if boobies are bad. You know what I'm saying? People be walking around like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like you're teaching them to feel as though this is something weird. But if you act like it's just a body, then they'll grow up and be like, it's just a body. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong or if you see this differently, let me know. Join the conversation. 404-254-4347. I'd love to hear what you got to say about it. But I mean, I'm very big on that with my kids. I don't play those games like that. Like we're going to talk about this like it's normal, like it's regular, you know? And I tell my son and my daughter the same thing. Like if something is going on with your parts, you got to let me know because they're your parts. I can't help you until you tell me. When I was young, my little brother was in school, in elementary school, and these little girls kept kicking him in the penis. He would tell the teacher, but the teacher wasn't understanding what he was saying. He came home one day and he peed blood. Okay, now we're up at the school. Now we're up at the school because we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all heard the story about the little boy who was getting molested or raped in the back of the school bus, and the school bus driver thought it was a fight. So you okay with them fighting, and you ain't gonna stop it. But this little kid up here fighting for his life. Like he fighting to make sure he don't get touched on. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to teach your kids defensive mechanisms, not just for adults, but defensive mechanisms for other kids. Like this lets us know you got to be on it. You got to be on it. Pathfinder said, I think schools. Oh, no, you already said that. I already said that. I already repeated that. B-Go, we're going to have to go. My phone about to die. Y'all can watch again on All Hustle, No Fear on YouTube. See y'all later. That phone's dead, though. Okay. Bet. Let's see. We got a comment. Let's see what this comment is. Hold on, wait. Okay, I gotta catch up with y'all comments. Okay, so Mr. Wilsey said it's a pipeline to other privately owned community services. Yes, like jail. I believe there is a such thing as a school to prison pipeline. I agree with you. Soon kids will mostly be property of the state. Chef Q said it's no talking at that point. I'm slapping him with a flip-flop. I've twisted an old white man's wrist at church when I saw him put hands on my daughter's shoulder. True story. Exactly. Like, why are you touching her? That and sit on my lap. Nope. I don't even like the kid. And Santa Clauses across the country have started doing that too. Not every Santa Claus will let your kids sit on their lap. And I don't want my daughter sitting on your lap as no grown man. That's not her place. It's his chair right there. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. You know, and I'm one of those women, you know, they say 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 women have had an experience and we just gonna leave it at that. I'm one of those 1 in 4 women. And I'm telling you right now, it's not always a stranger. Sometimes it's the closest people to you. Sometimes it's your babysitter or a cousin or somebody that your family thought was okay to leave you with. You know what I'm saying? I'm protecting I told my daughter just the other day, she want to go spend a night at her little friend's house. I was like, I don't know them like that. And she was like, but you do, you know her mom, but I don't know who all be in her house. I don't know them people like that. My job is to protect you from the things that you don't understand are dangerous. You might not see this as a danger, but my warning signs are going off. And you can be mad at me now, but I'd rather you be mad at me now and be safe than be happy that you got to go over there and now I gotta do something to these people because they let something happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard the story about the little girl who was spending the night at her friend's house and they boiled some water and poured it on her, thinking it was funny. And this little girl left their house with 3rd and 4th degree burns. Like she almost died because some little kids thought it was funny to throw hot boiling water on her. Like, are you serious right now? Don't play with me. This triggered me, and I'm so sorry, but this triggered me. It did in so many ways. Teacher Anitra said, I was the teacher that the students always wanted to talk to, but I knew where lines were drawn. It's a very difference between being an advocate and being an ear to being a custodial interference. There's a difference.